Our recap tonight is of an action movie called Hitman. It was released in 2007 and is based on a popular video game series. The film begins by showing US flashes of young boys and teenagers with shaved heads, receiving tattoos of barcodes. The area is mysterious and gloomy and seems to be led by a religious figure. The boys are raised by a very cryptic organization and they are being taught how to use firearms and hand-to-hand combat by some men who are observing, directing, and coordinating the training. These boys don't seem to have names. Instead, the members of the group give them numbers. Agent 47 is our protagonist and he is among them. There seem to be bioweapons involved, possibly producing a large number of boys via cloning technologies and other injections. A few boys who attempt to flee this elite training school are shot without hesitation by a sniper. We then witness a teenager seemingly completing his ritual and training, so he is awarded a pair of expensive handguns. Many years later, in London, England, we see Agent Mike Whittier enter his home and find Agent 47 sitting at his study table. They have a brief conversation there and 47 assures Mike that his family is safe. 47 says he has many questions for Inspector Mike and if he doesn't answer truthfully, he'll perish. Agent 47 starts with his most important question. He wants to ask, how does a good and lawful man decide when to end a life? As Mike hears this, he begins to reflect carefully. During a flashback from 3 months ago, Agent 47 is finishing a hit in Nigeria, when a man leading a gang tortures one of his own for stealing some kind of document. Little does the torturer know, someone planted the man's throat, and it proceeds to blow the gang up. Agent Mike speaks to the officials about a dangerous assassin in their lands, a man who has taken out more than 100 targets and could be a threat to their security. While the official is unimpressed, since Interpol has failed to apprehend the assassin, he agrees to assist them. The story then shifts to St. Petersburg, Russia. We find Agent 47 at a hotel bar enjoying a scotch. A beautiful woman approaches him and tries to start a conversation about whiskey. Surprisingly, 47 becomes awkward and is unable to socialize. He doesn't share his name and proceeds to walk away. In his hotel room, he sets up traps and devices around the door, then takes a shower and has traumatic flashbacks from his childhood. Later, he receives a message from his agency contact, Diana, who informs him that money from his successful mission in Africa has been wired to his account. She also provides him with information on his next target. He is instructed to assassinate Mikhail Belikov, the president of Russia, in front of the whole public. The mission is available because the company's client is no longer being supported by the president's new policies. Later, as the president arrives at the location to give a speech, 47 uses a large sniper rifle and shoots twice, missing the first time, but landing the second. The president perishes and causes a huge commotion. In the abandoned building in the distance, 47 uses a device to conceal his location once his mission is complete. He packs the weapons in a suitcase, which self-destructs, thus eliminating all evidence. While 47 is about to buy a plane ticket, he gets a call from his agency regarding Anika Boranina, a witness who saw him on the street. He is warned that she can be terminated by Interpol at any time, therefore he must take care of her. In the meantime, Interpol Inspector Mike arrives in Russia and is given intel that a concierge has seen 47's face. He's ecstatic about this new lead. 47 confronts Nika on the street and learns that she has never seen him before, so he chooses not to terminate her. 47 is targeted by a sniper, but he manages to escape. Also, Belikov's demise was a fluke. The president survived with a grazing wound, which is reported in the media. Diana is questioned by Agent 47 about why someone would want Nika eliminated, since she didn't witness the incident. She gives him the video in which Belikov is still depicted as being alive and tells him that because the assignment on Belikov is not completed, he will not get paid for it. As he notices this, he is startled, and inquires about the identity of the person who issued the order to execute Belikov, but she doesn't divulge the client's details, according to company policies. Mike Whittier and his companion are outside and have been informed that Agent 47 is in the hotel. As they run into the FSB, the Russian secret police, which is commanded by Yuri Marklov, Mike informs him that he has no idea who he is fooling with. In order to catch Agent 47, Yuri ignores Mike's expertise and dispatches an emergency reaction squad. Diana phones Agent 47 through a normal phone and uses her voice without any audio alterations. She immediately informs him that the hit was, shockingly, authorized by Belikov himself, and that 47's location has been compromised. The forces launch an offensive, resulting in a fierce combat. 47 successfully flees after finishing off all of the troops, but the agency for which he works has sent assassins to murder him for failing to complete his assignment. Mike and his colleagues inspect the room and discover a box containing several gadgets. Mike grabs one of the gadgets from the box and keeps it without anybody knowing. 47 enters Nika's room, kidnaps her, transports her to a secure location, and interrogates her. She informs him that Belikov has body doubles and that he may have murdered one of them. After hearing from Nika, he realizes that Belikov's doppelganger is the one who hired him to assassinate the president, so that he may assume office. Moreover, 47 is aware that Belikov's twin attempted to assassinate both him and Nika, and he told Mike and the police where he was. Mike finds out that all airport flights have been cancelled, making Agent 47's escape impossible. At the railway terminal, Mike shows up. When 47 and Nika try to escape aboard the train, the agency assassins stop them. After putting down the previously attempted assassination, he engages in combat with 3 of his own doubles who have come to murder him. However, when they become confused and start attacking one another, Agent 47, Mike Whittier, and his partner overcome them, and Agent 47 escapes with Nika. Following the event, Yuri and his crew arrive. Yuri warns Mike to keep away from this case, and threatens him, but Mike ignores him and leaves. The following morning, Nika opens up to 47 about her personal life, her work as a prostitute, and her unsuccessful efforts to flee Belikov. With the use of a microphone that he hid in Yuri's collar, Mike is listening in on all of Yuri and Belikov's talks. When Yuri arrives to warn him, he learns that Belikov gave the order for Yuri to finish off both Agent 47 and Nika. 47 sets up a meeting with Agent Smith, who is eventually identified as a CIA agent. The hit on the actual Belikov was ordered by his adversaries, who then replaced him with a doppelganger who is devoted to them, Smith confesses to 47. In exchange for Smith's assistance at some yet-to-be-determined point in the future, 47 will assassinate Belikov's brother Yuter, a slave trader and arms dealer. Smith accepts the offer and informs him that a German trader named Mr. Price would be seeing Yuter for the first time. Traveling to Turkey, Agent 47 and Nika inspect the hotel room where Price will be staying. On the other side, Mike finds out about Belikov's doppelganger. He drives Nika to the same hotel throughout the night. Agent 47 pursues Price as he enters the restroom and murders him, along with his bodyguards. He meets Yuter as Price, but Yuter quickly realizes that the person in front of him is not Price. Nevertheless, Yuter begins talking to him about the weapons. Yuter becomes enraged during the argument and fires at Agent 47, who fights back and destroys everyone in the blink of an eye. Mike, on the other hand, begins investigating the box they discovered in the hotel room. Among the various devices and weapons, he also discovers and keeps a key. Agent 47 transports Nika away from the city, bringing her to assist her escape from Russia, since he does not want her to get into any difficulties due to him. Before departing, Agent 47 declares that Belikov must be murdered, since his guys will not stop seeking her as long as he is alive. When she asks his name, he responds with the location where he grew up. They do not address them by name, but rather by number, and he is number 47. Meanwhile, Mike learns about the murder of Belikov's younger brother, Yuter, and realizes that the attempt on Yuter was a ruse devised by Agent 47 to bring attention to the phony Belikov, who is working with Yuri. An unknown cabal is part of a scheme to install a puppet leader in Russia. Mike quickly departs for the church, where the funeral will take place. As he gives a eulogy for Yuter, 47 arrives at Yuri's office and kidnaps him, knocking him unconscious. After some time, when Yuri regains consciousness, he discovers himself tied up in a bathtub. 47 tells him that the radio in his hand will go on at precisely 2:30, and instructs him to have his own FSB agents try to shoot Belikov. Otherwise, his body will be burned by a 3000 ampere current. He dismisses Yuri's explanation that he is only a middleman and cannot assist him. Mike encounters a senior officer inside the chapel, who informs him that several Special Forces personnel are present. Arriving, along with the appearance of a hitman hired by Yuri, is Belikov's doppelganger. While Yuri waits for the radio to turn on, Belikov begins to speak. Yuri gives the hitman the order to murder Belikov as soon as the radio is turned on. Bulletproof glass is struck by the hitman's bullet as he fires, saving Belikov's life. Belikov's guards are all taken out by Agent 47, who is posing as a soldier, and he is then taken inside the Archbishop's room in the church. Here, the assassin dispatched by Yuri fights 47, and after a protracted struggle, he murders Yuri with all the security and police, while the army also completely encircles the church. Agent 47 aired, an officer informs Mike, and there is no turning back now. He begins to speculate as to why 47 must have done this. He then notices the identical key that he took from the hitman's box in the church. He is aware that 47 was making plans for this in the past. When he questions a pastor about the key, the priest replies that it belongs to a church chamber. Agent 47 learns, during a brief talk with Belikov, that Belikov is only acting as a pawn in someone else's larger plot. Belikov warns him that they won't leave him even if he completes his task. Indifferent, 47 shoots him in the head. Suddenly, a helicopter begins to fire on the building, but he manages to escape. Afterward, he consents to be apprehended by Interpol and Mike Whittier. Agent 47 is being driven in a large SUV. Mike begins to wonder why Agent 47 surrendered so lightly. Agent Smith, on the other hand, steps in at the last minute with a convoy of black SUVs. He informs Mike that they have been informed he is affiliated with terrorists, and allows him to go. It seems that rather than murdering Yutter, Agent 47 requested this assistance from Smith, and struck some kind of deal. We now observe the interaction between Agent Whittier and Agent 47, taking place at Whittier's residence. Mike reacts to the question by saying that, if someone presents a threat to his family, he will do everything to defend them. Once they finish talking, Agent 47 displays Mr. Price's corpse, shaven and clothed to seem like Agent 47. They strike a bargain, in which Whittier agrees to go ahead with Agent 47's plan, in exchange for confessing that the person in his house is the actual Agent 47. He transforms into Whittier and leaves, saying he wants to never see Whittier again. The scene then shifts to Nika, who is receiving an envelope from an unknown source. She now owns a vineyard, according to the paperwork. She had discussed her desire to own one with Agent 47. Agent 47 is watching her via the sniper rifle scope, sitting in the distance. 47 then speaks to someone we can't see, warning them they should have listened when he told them to leave Nika alone. He turns to face the corpse of another hitman that is lying next to him, which means he was warning the organization as a whole. The movie ends with 47 walking away.